Hi there, this is Brandy and Miller, and I'm going to give you another lesson in breaking open abundance. It's been a while since I've done one of these, but I think this is really important. If you want to break open abundance, if you want to make your next big breakthrough, let me offer you a piece of advice. Practice radical gratitude. What is radical gratitude? Well, it's easier to be grateful when everything seems to be going your way. Your bank account's flush, your payments are up to date, your partner's great, your job is exactly what you want in life, everything's sunshine and roses. It's easy to find reasons to be grateful in that moment, to maybe even feel grateful. What's harder to do is to thank God in that moment when nothing is going your way, when everything looks like it's falling apart. And the reason that this is a major sticking point, and it's really the difference maker between breaking open abundance or remaining in limitation, is that when you can shift your mindset to believing that even in the middle of the worst things that could happen in your life, there is good that is going to come out of it, you change how you see life. You stop seeing it as being out to get you, and you start seeing, kind of getting excited when what most people would consider bad things happen, because you're eager to see what's going to come out of this. How is this going to work in my favor? I know that it will, but how? I don't know yet. So it changes your mindset, it changes your attitude. You stop panicking in the middle of the storm. You start assuming that things are going to work in your favor. And because you assume they're going to work in your favor, you operate according to that. And when you change your behavior, you change your choices, you change your life for the better. It stops being an issue of everything being able to go wrong, because nothing's ever going wrong. As my friend Joylyn and I talked about last week, it's, St. Peter's pencil is that everything that can go wrong will go wrong. Well, everything that can go wrong will go wrong, but it's all right, because it's all right. It's all leading you on the path to greater things. So let me tell you where this story comes from, where this advice comes from. I was 32 years old and financially a giant hot mess. I hated my job. Not hated my job, but I hated the boss that I worked for. She treated me like furniture, and was not very respectful at all. I was the lowest paid member of the team. I was treated like a pariah by her. And on top of that, I was behind on my rent, I was behind on my electric bill, I was behind on my phone bill. I owed my mother and my sister money I didn't have to pay them, and I was feeling so guilty and ashamed about that I was ghosting their phone calls because I didn't want to admit that I didn't have it. And I was signed up to go on this retreat, and I really didn't want to go, but I felt like I was obligated to, since somebody had given me a scholarship to go. It was the only way I could afford it. And I step in that night, and Father's first lesson for us is about gratitude. And he says, there's this guy named Shorty, right? And he's 5'3", and he desperately wants to be 6 foot tall like the other guys, because that's way more glamorous. And so he's not happy at all with his life, and he blames it on his height. He's just, if he could just be 6 foot tall, he knows his life would be better. So he buys platform shoes to try and make himself taller, but he's still 5'3" when he takes the shoes off. He tries hormone therapy because he told maybe they can help him grow. Doesn't work. He tries letting them put him on a stretching machine. All that does is cause him a lot of pain and agony. At the end of the day, he's still not happy. He even does surgery to finally put stents in his legs that'll bring him up to 6 feet tall, but all he's got is aches in his joints now, and an agony that doesn't seem to end. And the happiness he thought it was going to bring just doesn't. Look, folks, if you're not happy with your life when you're 5'3", you won't be happy when you're 6 feet tall either. That's a lesson I learned. But he sent us back to our room, and he told us to thank God for our lives, to thank God for everything in our lives. And I sat down at the desk and I told God, quite frankly, I'd love to thank you, but I can't think of a reason why. I don't think I have anything to be grateful for. And God said, well then, why don't you thank me for what you don't want in your life? I'm like, why would I do that? He said, because I work all things for the good of those who love me and are called according to my purpose. And so you can assume that this is working for your good and my glory. And that should be good enough. I was like, whoa, okay, well, that's different. In which case, I'll thank you for all the stuff that I don't want. I'll thank you for the bills that aren't paid. I'll thank you for the debts that I can't repay. I'll thank you for the boss that I don't like and for the job that's probably going to end in a couple of weeks. So I thanked him for all of those things, and sure enough, I felt a little bit better. And he said, and then I want you to do something else. And I said, okay, well, what is that? And he said, I want you to spend the rest of this retreat. It was a silent retreat. We weren't allowed to talk to each other. Look for every opportunity you can find to serve somebody else. Whether it's taking a glass back or taking up a tray or picking up garbage, wherever you see something that needs to be done, don't wait for them to respond to you. Don't wait for them to invite you. Don't wait for them to acknowledge you. Don't even look for it. Don't try to get it. In fact, do your best not to be noticed, but serve them. And so that's what I did for the rest of the retreat. I don't really remember any of the other things that they taught us on that retreat. I'm sure it was meaningful. I just don't remember. At the end of the retreat, I did feel so much better about myself and my life, and not a thing had changed. Nothing had changed except my attitude. My gratitude changed my attitude. And with my attitude, I felt better about my life. And the beautiful thing was, as I was preparing to leave, a woman stopped me and she said, you have no idea how much what you did meant to me. She said, I came in here feeling like nobody cared, that nobody saw me, that nobody noticed me, nobody wanted to help me. And your little acts of service just made me feel so loved and so valued and so appreciated. I just want to thank you. And that was unexpected, but it was so good. It was the icing on that cake. And I'm going to tell you, it's really difficult to see reasons to thank God for what's going wrong in your life. But if you'll start doing that, your life will start changing. I'm not going to promise you overnight results. It won't happen. This is going to have to become a lifelong habit of yours. Whenever things go wrong or seem to be going wrong, stop and thank God and tell him, thank you, because I know you're working this for my good and your glory. And I promise you that the breakthrough will come. The abundance, you'll start seeing the abundance of love that God is showering you with. You'll start opening your eyes to the many, many ways he is working in your favor, even when things look their worst. So if right now your life looks like a crap show and you think things can't get worse, trust me, they can. But stop. Take a moment. Thank God for all of it that you didn't want, because I promise you, he is working it for your good in his glory. May you have abundant blessings this week, and may you know how much God truly does love you, and that he is always working for your good, even when it doesn't look like it. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, I encourage you to like the channel and to hit that subscribe button so you'll be able to get our content, and hit the notification bell because you never know when I'm going to post my next video. I try to be regular, but I'm not always good about it. So do hit the bell notification so you're notified when the next video comes up. And I encourage you, give it a try, even if you think it's crazy. Practice some radical acts of gratitude and see where life takes you.